Yeah, so this will be our third and last talk, and one of the other fantastic talks. And Nozomi is also a great leader in Japan, so we are proud to invite him. And looking forward, yeah, please, the stage is yours, Nozomi.
Okay, thank you for my introduction method. I'm Nozomi To, CEO of MagicPod. MagicPod is a Japan-based test automation SaaS startup. Today, I'd like to talk about how we leverage AI in our product. And let me introduce myself a bit more. Before launching MagicPod around 6 years ago, I mainly worked on end-to-end test automation using Selenium. I launched the Selenium community in Japan, which has now around 600 members. And I organized the Selenium Conference Tokyo several years ago. I understand the importance of community in the tech industry, and I'm very happy to hear the Japan test community is newly established. I also wrote several Japanese test automation books, and I spoke at the RPM conference in India. And this is today's agenda. After the quick overview of MagicPod, I will talk about various AI topics, including generative AI. First, let's move on to the quick overview part. MagicPod is no-code and cloud-based end-to-end test automation platform. It is for web and mobile app test automation, and it internally uses Selenium and Appium. By checking this just 40 seconds video, I think you can easily grasp how it works. Okay, let me start the video. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Its use is not easy. All right, video looks work. So creation of MagicPod test is 3-step work. First, launch cloud device. Next, scan the current screen. Then select your elements from the scan result and fill input values. Then the shipped test case is created. By clicking the run button, the test is executed on cloud. That's it. It is very simple. Okay, this is how MagicPod works. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this was a quick overview of MagicPod. Next, I'd like to talk about the use of AI in MagicPod. MagicPod has two major AI features, and that is human readable UI element captions and self-healing. Let me explain them one by one. First one is caption of human readable, calculation of human readable captions of UI elements. As you can see in this image, test step of MagicPod are human readable. Input test user to name input area, input mail to gender input area, and tap register button. I think you can easily understand what each line does. And to realize this, MagicPod generates both human readable caption and locator for each element. For example, if you click this name input area on this MagicPod UI scan result, you will see the caption name input area and its locator. In this case, the locator uses XPath. The human readable caption is calculated by our AI logic, and you can update it manually later because it is only for human readability, and the test runner does not use this information. On the other hand, Selenium Appium locator is calculated by non-AI logic from the HTML and UI3 information. And the test runner actually uses it to find the target element. Next, I explain what information is used by our AI to calculate the human readable caption. First, we use the information on HTML or UI3, such as HTML attributes, text, HTML tags, class, and so on. And also, position relation between elements are used. In this image's case, the input element and the name element are actually different elements, two elements. And the input element itself does not have the text name, but the input is still captioned as name input label. It is because the input element has a label element inside the input element. So this caption calculation logic uses elements near or inside an element. Also, this calculation logic uses text on the image recognized by the OCR logic. OCR means optimal character recognition. Yeah. And furthermore, it has a deep learning object recognition engine and can calculate the name of various icons. I think it is the same technology as Okan's presentation. We use this technology just for calculating human readable text. For example, if the AI see an icon with this shape, the AI will say it is mic icon. And if the AI see an icon with this shape, the AI will say it is menu icon. Our AI currently can recognize around 100 type of icons. The AI's accuracy is actually not perfect, but it can assign good caption to various elements. And even if you find the calculation result are sometimes wrong, you can easily update it manually because it is used only for human readability. That was the first AI use. The second AI use is self-healing. Does anyone know self-healing? You may already know it because it becomes a widely recognized concept in the last few years. Actually, the self-healing is a feature to fix failed test by AI. When a test can't find a UI element due to a change in the application's page structure, MagicPod AI modifies the test so that it actually does not fail. For example, let's say an element has an internal name register, and the test script finds the element by this internal name and click it. If the internal name becomes the register button for some reason, and you execute the test by MagicPod, what do you think will happen? Maybe you expect the test will fail because the element for the name register does not exist anymore. But actually, the test passes. It is because MagicPod automatically updates the occurrence of register in the test to register button. And after the test is finished, the user receives a notification and can check how MagicPod updated the test script on this dialog. If the user clicks this accept button on this dialog, the change is actually committed. And if the user clicks the reject button, the change is rolled back. Also, if self-healing happens, but the updated test fails after all, the updated is automatically rolled back. So you can accept self-healing only if the test actually passes. And the risk of accepting wrong result is very low. And this is the two types of approaches of self-healing. This is actually informal classification made by me. Anyway, I call the first approach multiple locator approach, and the second approach single locator approach. And the MagicPod uses this single locator approach. I first explain the multiple locators approach. It is suitable for record and playback tool. And it works like this. When a test is recorded, the tool records each UI element by the best attributes like ID. But at the same time, other attributes such as name, index, class, and so on are internally saved. And when the test is executed and the best attribute ID does not work anymore, the tool tries to find the correct element by using other recorded attributes. This is an example of a test automation tool testing. It internally stores various attributes for one element, like this, class, role, value, and so on. Actually, user attribute is determined this weight of each attribute, and this star represents weight. Usually, ID has the heaviest weight, but you can tweak the weight and explicitly use different attribute if necessary. And another self-healing approach is the single locator approach. This approach is adopted by MagicPod. When creating a test, MagicPod records the locator of each element. And at the same time, it records the full UI tree which the element is belonging to. And when the test is executed and the locator does not work anymore, MagicPod compares the old UI tree and the latest UI tree. And if MagicPod finds an element sufficiently similar to the original element, the similar element is used instead. This is a self-healing notification dialog again. The left pane has the information before the self-healing, and the right pane has the information after the self-healing. Next, I explain how MagicPod knows whether two elements are similar or not. We measure the similarity based on various factors. First, various UI tree information such as attributes, position, parent, child are used. Also, OCR result and object result recognition result are used to determine the similarity. I guess use of OCR and object recognition is unique to MagicPod. I think many tools uses OCR, but I don't know that tool using OCR and object recognition technology for self-healing. And one advantage of the single locator approach is locators are just like Selenium or Appim's normal locator, and like this. And users can modify the locator in the same manner as normal Selenium or Selenium locator. Selenium or Appim locator, sorry. Okay, so far I talked about the current AI use of MagicPod. Next, I'd like to talk about the AI feature, which haven't been released yet. The topic is about generative AI, like ChatGPT. You may think generative AI generates test automation script, and people can save many time by using it. It is maybe true for code test automation tools, such as Selenium, Appim, Playwright. But for no-code tools, I think it is not so true in many cases. Because if you write the prompt in detail and tell AI what kind of script to generate, I think AI can generate various scripts for no-code test automation tool. Actually, it is possible. But actually, just recording user operation is much faster than writing detailed prompt for AI. In my opinion, so it is not so easy to beat the no-code tool by generative AI. Instead, I have been thinking about these three ideas for generative AI use with MagicPod. The first one is summarizing test cases, and the second one is generating change comments. And the last one is detecting random IDs. Actually, I found the last ideas didn't work well, unfortunately. I will explain each topic anyway. The first topic is summary generation. MagicPod test script is human readable, but even so, it is not easy to understand what a large test script actually does, especially if the script is created by other members. You can add summary information to each script manually, but you need to maintain it each time the script is updated. And if you forget to maintain the summary, it easily becomes outdated. Summary and the script become different things. So if AI generates summary automatically from the latest script, I think this problem would be resolved. This is a motivation of this feature. And this is the system structure to realize this feature. MagicPod already has a public API to get test script as human readable text. It is nothing AI. And this is just a formatter to print MagicPod human readable text, human readable script in plain text style. And once you get the human readable script, you can pass it to generative AI. This is because this is just text, and ask it to generate summary. If you want to try to this flow by yourself, please sign up MagicPod and you can try it. I explain the flow in detail. Let's say we have this a bit long test script. And by using MagicPod's public API, we can get the test script in plain and human readable text style like this. Also, we can get the title of the script because user already specified this information. And as you can see, MagicPod script can have comment lines like this or like this. And many users use this feature to make test script readable. These comments helps AI summary generation largely. And then we pass this human readable script and its title to generative AI. The prompt is like this. This is very simple prompt. It just asks to generate a human readable text summary. And the answer of AI is like this. Due to the generative AI's nature, the result is not always stable, and sometimes it becomes strange, unfortunately. But even so, in many cases, it returns very useful summary. In this case, it gives the test is on the hotel web page, like this. And the recognition of each block looks basically correct, like this. Since MagicPod script is human readable as is, it fits to generative AI very well. Okay, then and another idea is generating change comments by AI. When a user edits a test script on MagicPod, edit history is automatically stored like this. This is a good feature. But one big problem of this feature is its change comment is just say auto-saved like this. It says small additional information, but it just a test step update. It is not so useful. If we can generate better change comments for auto version history, I believe this feature will be more useful. This is the system structure to realize this feature. The structure is similar to the structure of the test case summary generation. Get to script before and after change, and get human readable script of each script by MagicPod public API respectively. And ask generative AI to generate the change comment. I explain the flow in detail again. Let's say this change is made to the hotel reservation script. It makes the input data more real world one. For example, from Tokyo, Japan to Ginza, Chuo, Tokyo, Japan, and made and changed the phone number to real world one. And also assertion steps were also updated accordingly. And then we pass the human readable script before and after the change to generative AI. This time the prompt is like this. We don't need to calculate script difference by ourselves. The AI does so instead. We just need to pass two full text and take full text before the change and full text after the change. And the answer of the AI is like this. I introduced two variations. Which variation do you prefer? AI's answer changes every time by default. But if necessary, you can always get the same answer for the same question by tweaking the AI's parameter, temperature parameter. And the last one, which I actually found is difficult to realize, is random ID detection. MagicPod calculates locators automatically from HTML. But if the HTML contains random IDs or random classes, like these images, like this, they will be used. They will be used, and inappropriate locators are generated, unfortunately. So we want to avoid them because locators with random IDs are very cryptic and not robust because it can change every time or very frequently. MagicPod can detect some major random ID patterns like UDID, but detecting every possible random ID patterns are very difficult. It is very challenging. So if generative AI can detect random IDs correctly, we can generate more robust script. This is a system structure to realize this feature. First, retrieve all IDs and classes from a specified HTML by using normal HTML parsing logic. And then pass this list to generative AI and ask it to pick up only random IDs and classes. If it works successfully, we can pass this result to the MagicPod locator calculation logic. So prompt is like this. In this case, we calculate only random ID attributes. And to get result effectively, we pass all IDs in bulk and not pass one by one. I don't show the result here because its result was not so promising. Actually, it can detect many patterns and the detected ones are always correct. It is good. But in many cases, the AI overlooked something. Some random ID are not correctly detected and they are overlooked. And besides, it was very slow, despite the past data size was very small. I tried both ChatGPT and Google's Gemini AI, but the result was similar. I want to use generative AI for this purpose someday, but it seems it is still too early. So finally, I introduce the final goal of MagicPod briefly. Our final goal is executing tests just from the test case for human or manual tester. This goal is actually unchanged from the beginning of MagicPod for 6 years. I long thought this goal was very, very distant, but I recently feel we gradually approach this goal thanks to the emergence of generative AI. we still have many things to achieve, but I hope I can realize this goal someday. That's all my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Nozomi. It was really very impressive. Like, especially the autosave actions. Like, I really like that feature, but then you said that you want to change that because it is saving all, even the single steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that was a good feature. So we have a couple of questions. Let me share my screen and
Okay.
let's try to cover as much as we can because there are a lot of them. So starting with the first one, this is a very generic question. Actually, this is coming from the previous session. So the very famous question, like any insights on the discussion regarding AI completely eradicating the demand for jobs in tech, like testing? So will we lose our jobs against robots?
Yeah, actually, many people ask me this question. So in my opinion, I don't think it won't happen so soon. Uh, AI AI has still many problems and it is not so smart as human. So I think in someday AI can recognize everything and test everything and design everything. But at that time, I think AI can create a program from scratch and developer also lose jobs. So so it is very distant future and it's difficult to imagine happen soon.
Yeah, maybe not very soon. And if it happens, not only testers, right? Maybe developers as well. So basically
Yes,
everybody.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Cool.
so.
Next question. It seems that using AI in tests is mostly aiming UI testing. Like we have three talks. Chase scope was a little bit different, but the other two talks are mostly for UI testing. What about not non-UI applications like backend or libraries? Are these use cases too trivial? Why aren't they people targeting
Mm.
those non-UI applications?
Mm, I think I think for example, GitHub or Microsoft try to generate unit test cases by analyzing source code. But this technology is largely different from UI testing. So I think many people are trying to generate unit test by analyzing source code. Mm, some people do so, but I'm not sure why UI testing is more prevalent.
Mm.
But some people also do no also work on non-UI
Mhm.
testing. Mm.
Yeah, it means there is some applications targeting backend or libraries, but maybe
Yeah.
UI is more, and maybe that is reasonable, right? Because most of the applications has UI, which
Mm.
gives opportunity for users to interact with the system.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next question. For OCR, optical character recognition, are you using a library or tool, or is it your custom algorithm?
Actually, we use Google's Vision API, so we use cloud service. I once created my own OCR logic by using Tesseract OCR, but its maintenance is very complicated, and I gave up.
Yeah, that makes sense. But how about security concerns? Like whenever you are using cloud services, do you have any security concern?
Mm, so actually, so since our service is also cloud service, we provide MagicPod as a security uh, SaaS service. If some customer has cloud concern, and they even can't use MagicPod at all.
I see.
And so usually, if they tolerate MagicPod risk, they can also tolerate Vision API's risk.
Mhm. I see.
Mm.
Next question. Is MagicPod integrated to any test management tool? For example, you talked about test summary, update or generation. After doing that, the test summary is posted to somewhere like Jira or tests rail.
Mm. So we don't have official integration, but by using our API, we can get test result and also human readable script and summary. So if you use API, you can you can pass it to test management tool. Actually, some people share the test Rails integration sample on their blog. So I think we can integrate to various test management tools.
I see. That means it is doable then. Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. Does MagicPod run on mobile or desktop?
So MagicPod support mobile app testing and web app testing. So mobile web testing and desktop web testing. So I think we support both, but we don't support Windows desktop application. It is out of our target.
So no desktop. So it means mobile or web applications, right?
Yes.
I see. All right. Next question. What is the biggest pain point or problem in QA? Or can it be handled by AI?
And maybe the QA task is mainly consist of test design and test execution. And maybe both requires lots of time, but test design requires creativity and sometimes it is very challenging, but usually test execution is very boring. So usually biggest pain exists in this test execution repetitive manual task. So we are currently focused on this part. It is very boring and it is very good to fit to automation.
So in terms of test execution duration, right? Sometimes it is very slow and taking too much time.
Yeah, exactly. But actually, human operation is also slow. So if you run UI test, it is slow, but actually human is much slower. So it is acceptable risk. And if you run test every night or run test nightly, the risk can be mitigated.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, of course, automation is much faster than manual testing.
Yeah.
But still, people are not patient for automated executions. It's always asked to be faster. All right. Is MagicPod available only in Japan?
Not only in Japan. So we support both Japanese use and English use. So recently, we are discussing the English use with Vietnam users. So MagicPod can be used from any countries.
If you have any materials or documents to share people, you can just share it to me and we can post it.
Oh, thank you. I will share later. Thank you so much.
Sure. And our last question. There are several no-code test tools. So what is different about MagicPod?
Yeah, difficult question. Maybe in Japan, so there are many no-code tools, but most of them focusing on web testing because it is much easier to automate. So mobile testing has much more challenge. It is very unstable and device preparation is very complicated. But we have a strength in both mobile testing and web testing. We can cover both domains. So this is our major competitiveness. And another strongness is our pricing. So maybe there are many good no-code tools, but its price is more than double or triple of our price. So I think our price is very competitive.
I see. All right. So far, we don't have any other questions. So for everyone, this is the last chance to raise your questions or feedback. and even from the other speakers as well. Okan, I guess Chase is not here anymore, but if you have something more to share, we have a few minutes more. Then we can close this wonderful event. Anything from anyone? I guess not. All right. This was a wonderful event, with fantastic talks, and we are looking forward for the next episodes. The upcoming one is already, we already have the speakers, the schedule is ready. So we will very shortly announce when the next is happening. And you can follow from our meetup groups and the other channels. So if there's nothing else, we can close. I want to thank again to our speakers and everyone joined to this session. See you next time.